Alright, what's up? I'm Ayan, and today I will show you how to install Kali Linux on a VirtualBox machine and also how to use a VirtualBox. So, first of all, we need to go to this website. I will provide this link in the description so you can download it for yourself. So, VirtualBox is a powerful 64-bit version, is recommended. So, VirtualBox runs on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS and helps you run Windows, Linux, and other operating systems within that operating system. Kind of like having two operating systems at once. So if you are using Mac OS and you want to use Windows, you can use that. If you are using Windows and want to use Linux, you can do that as well. So let's get started with downloading the VirtualBox. I am using Windows, so I will download for Windows hosts. If you're using other operating systems, you can download it for that as well. Okay, now let's wait for it to finish the downloading while we download the Kali Linux operating system. So let me show you how you can download that. Go to this website and press download. Here you will get two options. The virtual machine is the pre-built virtual machines which you do not have to build, just download it and install it, but this is having some problems right now, so I do not recommend that you use the pre-built. If you want to use pre-built versions, use pre-built. Then if that doesn't work for you, just use the simple installer image. Simply download this. Right here I will be using the installer image so I can customize it as much as I want. Okay, I already have the installer image. In the previous videos I have already downloaded it. So if you want to use other versions of Linux, here is Linux Mint that you should check out. If you want to know if you want to migrate to Linux from Windows, Linux Mint is a good choice. This is how you can download Linux Mint. Just go to this link given in the description, then download it for yourself. Also, Ubuntu is an excellent choice for beginners because this is completely open source and has a lot of operating options, a lot of new features as well. This is how you can download Ubuntu yourself. As I have already downloaded Kali Linux, let me just copy and paste it so I do not have to download it again. Simply we just need to download the VirtualBox. And if you want to use Windows on a VirtualBox alongside your main operating system, then you can also download Windows right from Windows official website. I will also provide Windows link as well, so you can download Windows 10 or Windows 11, whichever you want. Also, it supports all kinds of Windows, so that is not big so much. Okay, now the the VirtualBox is almost completely downloaded. We need to open it and then I will show you how you can set it up and install some files. For this I will be using Kali Linux, so this guide is all about Kali Linux, but if you wanna know about other things, just tell me in the comments. Now the VirtualBox is downloaded. Now let me just copy the Kali Linux file. Here I have already downloaded the installer image of Kali Linux, which I just showed you. You can download that. I do not need to download it again because that is gonna be a waste of time and storage, because I already downloaded this for the previous videos. Let's wait for it to finish the copying. Okay, here now we have both Kali Linux installer image as well as VirtualBox. Now let's just install VirtualBox right now, and if you get any prompts, just say yes, and then you will be given this installer file. Let's install. I do not need to change anything, but if you want to change the installation location, you can also browse and change that. This will install some things which are required to run VirtualBox, so install those as well. Just say yes to all and then wait for it to finish the installing. We need to download some extra files to run VirtualBox smoothly, so we are going to turn it off right now, and then we need to go to this same website where we downloaded the VirtualBox. We also need to download extension pack. That is very useful. You should only have one extension pack, and also there is some software developer kit if you are a software developer, but I will not recommend that software developer for everyone. But The extension pack is recommended for all, so it helps run VirtualBox very smoothly and does not cause any errors. In case you have one, it will solve all the errors. So let's wait for it to download the extension pack, and then we need to install the extension pack, and it will simply, let's go here. As you can see, we have the extension pack right here. Let's open it up and install it. It will open VirtualBox itself, and then now we can install the extension pack. Simply scroll through the agreement and then click I agree. Let's wait for it. And now it seems like the extension pack is successfully installed because it is not giving us any errors whatsoever. Okay, now let's get started with installing Kali Linux. In here we need to go to this new option. I'm gonna click right here. Type in the name of your virtual machine which you are going to use. I will be using Kali Linux, so let me type in Kali Linux. It will simply detect the type and do everything ever. The second location is where you install your virtual machine. Simply browse wherever you think you have enough space to store your virtual machine, and it will take that. I am going with the default location, but you can change wherever you want. And in this third option, we need to select the operating system. Here we have Kali Linux. Let me select that. Now all the options are disabled because it will simply automatically install those things by default. We do not need to change stuff anymore. Let's get on the next page. Now this processor is very important. I will recommend that you go with the green one full. We do not need to, only the green area is enough for us. And upper side is the, let's see the minimum requirements for Kali Linux. Here you can see we need almost at least 2 GB of RAM if you are on higher end PC. If you want minimum requirement 500 MBs, but some programs require 8 GB of RAM, so I would recommend that if you have spare RAM, simply go with 10 gigs of RAM. As long as it stays on the green area, you are good to go. Okay, I got about 12 or something. Now I'm just gonna select 10 gigabytes right here, and then I will recommend that you always select the whole green area in the processor section. Okay, now here we have 10 gigs of RAM, and we got 2 processor cores dedicated for the virtual machine. Let's go next. And here we have been recommended 25 GB. Let's see. We need at least 20 GB of disk space, so 25 is fine for us right now. Let's go with 25 gigabytes of disk space. This is the summary of everything that you have set. If you want to go back, you can go back and change your stuff. This is everything. Let's get started with the installation. Now the virtual machine is running here. This is the details section. If you want to change settings, you can also change your settings. Here we have the name, type, and other stuff. Advanced section. Here you can see everything about your virtual machine that you have just created. And also if you want to change some system options, you can also change your system options. Here is the memory option where I can change. Also I can remove and allow access here. Or I also change the boot menu, boot order as well. I will just simply, you can do, if you do not want to change anything, simply just copy whatever I am doing. This is recommended for everyone. Simply we do not need to change anything else. Unless you are setting up screen recording, you can also change your settings for screen recording here. Also you can change your network settings. For you change your serial ports as well. And also you can change and allow some USB ports. As you can see, I have dedicated only one controller. Anything else I do not recommend that you change, but simply let's go with here. You can change back right whenever you want. Let's save changes. Now we need to start the virtual machine. One more thing, it always gives us the error of hypervision that I will show you right now, and also show you how you can fix that. Now as you can see, the VirtualBox did not run the virtual machine because it is giving me an error known as the, I don't know, it is called some hypervision error or something like that, but I know how to fix that. This is because your BIOS is have virtualization technology disabled. I am using a Linux system, so I have Linux virtualization technology. Simply just turn off your PC or laptop, whichever one you are using. Simply shut it down right now anyway. And we need to go to the BIOS, and then I will show you how you can fix those problems right here. Okay, now I'm going to press this escape key. This is not an escape key, but this is the boot menu key. It helps a lot of time. This is called Nova button. Nova button. We need to go to BIOS and we need to go into configuration. Here you can see we have the Intel virtual technology and we need to enable this feature. This is default changed by default, so I'm gonna enable it. It is now enabled. Now simply go to exit saving changes. You can save changes, and let's exit right from here. And now it will simply restart my computer, and then I will show you how to run that virtual machine, and that error will be gone, and can simply, you need to change this once in your life but not again. If you change your system, then you need to do it again and again unless it is enabled by default. Let's wait for it to boot up, and then let's get right into it. Okay, so now here we are back in our system. Let's start. You can see the Oracle VirtualBox in your desktop menu. I have hidden the icon, so you can start from the start menu and search for it. Okay, now let's start the machine. Now, as you can see, it is powering up the virtual machine. Let's wait for it. And now we have the virtual machine running. This is the preview section. The full window is right here. Now it has been connected to my keyboard. Now as you can see, we have been given the graphical install. Let's select the graphical install option to install Kali Linux on my virtual machine. Let's wait for it to completely boot up. Here is all the things that it is doing, so you can monitor what it is doing, if it is accessing your hard drive or using USB or something like that. Okay, here we are in the installer menu. Let's select the language. I am going with English because that is what everyone should do. Now all we need to do is install Kali Linux as normal, as everyone should do. So let's wait for it to load the additional components, and then I will show you how to install the whole Kali Linux on your VirtualBox. If you do not get any trouble, if you get any trouble, simply just comment here in the comment section. I will guide you as soon as possible. Okay, now let's wait for it to finish the loading, and then we can get by step-to-step installation. This is your machine's host name. I am going with Kali, and here you can change the domain name. I am also going with Kali here. So if you do not, simply go Kali because that is good for everyone. I am going with Kali right now for everything. The password should also be the same. I am using the Kali password because you should always select a strong password which you do not forget all the time. You can here configure your clock. I am going with default settings. Okay, now it will detect disk and you will be given how to install it. As we are using a virtual machine, so I will recommend that you go with entire disk because that should not change settings. The partitioner is starting up. Let's wait for it to load up. Now the guided use entire disk is recommended in a VirtualBox. This is the only disk available and we have only 25 gigs of free space there. Let's go with the defaults. So we can, here we need to select this partition disk and also, okay, sorry, my mistake. Here we need to write the changes to disk. Simply just yes and then continue. Now it is installing the base systems. I am just going to speed this process up for you guys so you can see, and also I do not want to waste anybody's time. Let's just 8x the speed. And the base system is installed and now we are being given some options to install the default desktop environment and some top 10 most popular tools. I will be going with default settings. Now let's just speed it up the process and then wait for it to install everything. Okay, so this is a very important step. We need to install the grep bootloader. There is no other operating system in my virtual machine. So we are going with yes. If you select no, the Linux will not boot up. We need to select the device. This is the primary one because it is a VirtualBox, so it is always going to be one disk. Let's wait for it to finish the installation. This is gonna take some time. Okay, the installation is finished. We just need to continue to reboot the system. So let's get with rebooting. Now this will finish everything and clean up the system and then we'll simply reboot it for us. Now the installer is off and now it is rebooting the system. Here this is the grub bootloader. You need to press enter or do not press anything at all. It will simply open Kali Linux for you. You can also dual boot your system within the virtual machine, but I will not recommend that you do that. Now as you can see, Kali Linux is booting up. Man, I just love this icon. Pretty beautiful, right? Okay, now here we have the login page. We need to enter the username and password that we just created in the installer system. I recommended that you should go with Kali on both sides. Let's press enter. And now Kali Linux is booting like it should be booting, like normal as an operating system. Okay, we need to also go with, it is not giving us the full screen system, so go right here in the view section and enter the full screen mode. This is how you can exit through full screen by going with host or plus something else. And now we are not gonna take some really good care of that. Now as you can see, Kali Linux is booted. Also we got close options right here. I need to pin this so it doesn't go away anywhere. So this is how you can install Kali Linux on a VirtualBox machine and use it as a second operating system or whenever you want to use it. And now I need to shut down and turn this off. It will simply shut down and turn off the virtual machine as well. And then you can turn off your VirtualBox from here. Anyway, that's been it. Thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Take care. Goodbye. And also please subscribe, like and comment. That will be very good.